Hi guys, it's Lars Lehmann once again coming to you from Sadowsky, Germany in beautiful Markneukirchen. I am joined by no other than Mr. Roger Sadowsky himself.
Hi Lars, nice to be here.
It's always nice to have you, man. Today we are going to discuss the setup of your bass guitar, which obviously is sort of like an enigma to most people. And some people can do it, some do it pretty well, some don't know how to do it. Is there sort of like a rule of thumb on what to do?
I'm going to review the basics. I'm not going to actually demonstrate a setup now, but talk about some of the general principles involved with setups. There are two scenarios. The first scenario is you doing it yourself. The other scenario is you're bringing it to a guitar tech to do it. I think it's essential if you bring it to a guitar tech that first you demonstrate to them how you play, because how hard your right hand technique is really affects how low or high the action can be set up. The other thing is, even if they can't do it while you wait, when you come to pick it up, that you play the guitar while you're at the shop. And if it's not playing well for you, you have him dial it in while you are there. To bring something in for a setup, then go home and play it and not be happy with it, that makes no sense, okay?
It's not going to suit your needs.
That's absolutely right. Like I said, setups are subjective because it all depends on your playing style. But the first thing I do when I'm going to set up an instrument is look at how straight the neck is and how to adjust the truss rod. In the old days, they used to talk about necks needing what we call relief, and that's a lot of curve this way in the neck. I like a fairly flat neck. I find all the instruments that I set up play better that way, and my customers are happier that way. Now, this is the truss rod adjustment. And again, people are afraid to adjust the truss rod. Back in 50 years ago, they weren't well made and a truss rod could break. I haven't encountered a broken truss rod in the last 50 years. So even if it feels a little stiff to turn, there's still always room to go. So don't be afraid to do it. You know, when you're turning a truss rod, the thing to realize, if you go too far and the neck bends back this way, you're going to get buzzing right on the first and second fret. So if that happens, you just loosen it a little bit at a time until that clears up, okay? The other way you can check for a straight neck is you can use the outside string as a straight edge. You can hold it at the first fret, and you can hold it at the 12th fret, and you can literally look at the bottom of the string and see if there's daylight between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret. At about the 7th fret would be a good place. And if you see a lot of daylight there, I would tighten the rod. And if you see none at all, you might want to loosen it just till you see a little hair. And then the next major place to adjust is the bridge. Now, if we talk about my fingers being the treble string and the rest of my hand being the bass string, the bass side strings always have to be higher. And that's because if you look at the way they vibrate, the bass strings are vibrating in a bigger arc than the treble strings, and they need more clearance before they start rattling against the frets. So this string, the B string, or the E string in this case, is always going to be about 50% higher than where you want to set the G string. So if you go to my website, you go to Warwick's website, we have papers that have our specs, both in metric and inches. I use inches, so what I like to do is I hold the string down at the nut, and that rules out the height here interfering with the string height here, and I'm measuring at the 12th fret. So I'm holding the string down at the first fret and measuring at the 12th fret from the bottom of the string to the top of the fret. So for me, a nice on the low side setup would be 2 30-seconds here, and it would be 3 30-seconds here, and these are in between. In other words, a D a little higher than the G, and the A a little higher than the D, and the E being the highest of all. That's you know, 90% of a setup right there. The only next step after that is adjusting the pickup heights. If pickups are too close to the strings, the magnets interfere with the vibration. It causes like double tones in the upper register, the chorusy effect, and it screws up the intonation. It won't intonate properly in the upper register. So again, for pickup height, I hold the string down at the last fret and I measure from the bottom of the string to the top of the pole piece. And again, between myself and Warwick, we have excellent setup videos on YouTube. And I really encourage people to watch them more than once. And, you know, they're not going to screw anything up. They absolutely give it a try. I think basic setup adjustments like this are things every player should know how to do themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's also very expensive to give it away.
Yeah, but no one can determine what works best for you than yourself as a player.
Yeah.
So I really encourage people, watch those videos, and especially, again, the Warwick video and mine. I don't trust anybody else's video on YouTube. All right. And be comfortable to do these basic adjustments.
Right. So once again, the setup of your bass guitar is a very, very individual subject. It of course needs the player to check, oh, how do I like this? How does it maybe interfere or fit my playing? So yeah, that's highly individual, and so you better do it as a team, right?
If you're having another guy do it. Absolutely. I'll have customers come in for a setup and I will do it while they wait. I'll do my adjustment. I'll say, go plug it in and take it for a spin, and maybe a little back and forth, and then we're done, and it's great.
How'd you like the setup of this one?
Oh, I think your setup's great. Your setup is a bit on the low side, not too low, but you're on the low side of my range between low, medium, and high.
Okay, people, that's it for today. I'm Lars, Mr. Roger Sadowsky. See you next time. Bye-bye.